Thanks for being on today. So we are coming off of a good week of two home wins, and we have four games left down the stretch before we head into the Sun Belt tournament. Very excited. I just got off of our pre-tournament call with the Sun Belt Conference, so making plans for that. So trying to this weekend after our game, I spent, first of all, looking ahead to the tournament. You always want to have plans in place for that and how you want to play and how you want to show up, ways you want to have improved by the time you get to the tournament. And so all those things are on my staff's mind, my mind and my staff's mind, but also reeling it back today for when the players walk into the film room and practice and be completely committed to focusing on ULM, which is our next game. So it's a lot of excitement. We're currently in third place. Um, we really want to win out these last four games because that might give us a chance to get back in second place. And as I'm about to explain to the team in just a few minutes in the film room, the importance of getting back up into second place because um, it gets you that bye all the way to the semifinal round in the tournament, but also it assures things for postseason play that being in third place doesn't necessarily assure. So we have all those things in mind and just trying to be the most improved team from this point to the Sun Belt Conference tournament time.
And with that, we'll open it up to questions for you, Josh.
Tyler's on here too.
Obviously, rebounding has always been a big part of your program. And this year, pretty much all year, you guys have led the entire country in rebounds. Do you feel like this is one of your better rebounding teams you've ever had, and just what it means to the game to be able to kind of dominate the boards?
Yeah, and it means everything. It means insurance. It means if you're not shooting well on a given night, or if you turn the ball over too many times, like we have done this year, it gives you insurance. You can still win the game because still in a women's basketball game, there's going to be at least about 55% of the shots missed, and that gives you extra possessions. As far as your question about how does maybe this team compare to the last? It's a very different rebounding team than my other years. We depend on a lot of help from our guards this year to rebound. If you look at Shalana Wagner, who's just coming back off of a long stint, I think she was our third leading rebounder when she went out with her knee injury, and she came back. And I think this last game she kind of got back in the groove of the rebounding with 5 rebounds, but she's had 10 rebounds on given nights. Our smallest player, Bree Piguero, she is nothing to her to get 6 rebounds in a night, and so our post players in the past almost really dominated that category for us. But this year we are depending for more help from our guards, like I said. The other thing we're looking at is I just got out of a meeting with my staff about our two starting post players, Zay Dyer and Mo Jackson, Bream Mo Jackson. They're doing a good job on the boards for us, but really per minute, our better rebounder are the two post players that are coming off the bench right now with Emma and Fortuna. Those two are actually rebounding more per minute than our starting post. So we're trying to look at every aspect of rebounding on our team and making sure we're getting the absolute most out of it because it is our strength.
All right, well, with Shalana coming back, obviously we talked about the rebounding, but assists. She's been one of the leaders in the conference in assists and also steals. So what does getting her back into the lineup mean for the team?
It really shifts things around. We did well when she was out, thanks to Bree Piguero, who came in and who was really a two guard, but played that one guard position. And we won a lot of games and played a lot of great basketball. She's completely a different type of point guard, though, than Shalana Wagner. Bree is a bigger scoring threat, but Shalana Wagner is more of she makes everybody on our roster a better scoring threat. She can penetrate so deep into the teeth of the defense and make the perfect pass out to the person who needs the ball. So now we're looking at with Shalana being back, moving Bree back to the two, which she's been the one for over 10 games, I believe, started in that position for over 10 games, moving her back. So, even before this last game, we kind of had to sit down and say, okay, remember where you go on the out of bounds plays as a two. Okay, remember this is what you do as a two because she's been the one. So for a minute, I think we need a minute to get back on our feet and be strong and everybody be confident in their positions because it's moved a lot around. But of course, it's going to make us in the end much stronger to have Shalana Wagner back.
You mentioned it a little bit with the way the seeding is this year, and just how huge is it to get that second seed to buy all the way to the semifinals?
Yeah, so there's so many ways to spin that and look at it. The fact of the matter is, if you're first or second, you only have to win 2 games to win the Sun Belt Championship. That's huge. I believe I've gone into a tournament before and had to win 5 games. I know I've had to win 4 before. So, um, that's huge. However, if you look at what happened in the football playoffs this year, and I really believe it had an effect on us in the last few years, when you sit out and you go in that arena cold, or maybe you've just sat in the stands and watched the night before the team that you'll play the winner of, and that team that you do play the winner of that night, they come in there hot with a lot of confidence in that arena. It can also be a disadvantage because again, a team that is been on the court, fought out a win or two, and you're just coming in there. You got to think, I've only got 3 players on my team that's ever even been in the Pensacola Bay Center. And they're gonna, so they're, unless we really massively mess up these next 2 weeks, we're gonna get several rounds by in this tournament. Um, the question is, will we get in that, that sacred second spot? But you have to manage that both ways because again, a team that has been playing with a lot of confidence on that floor comes in and you've been sitting and waiting and watching and looking at scores. You have to manage that as well. I think that happened in the football playoffs this year. A lot of the teams that sat out um, got beat by teams that kind of were hot coming through.
Well, what do you expect to see from ULM, and what do you guys have to do to beat those girls?
I'll continue to say this. ULM has one of the top 3 most talented, if not the most talented roster in the Sun Belt. I think any coach would say that. Their transfer portal transferred from, Florida State, Clemson, Mississippi State, just on and on and on. They're very talented. They have not been able to put it together in the win column yet, and we do not want it to be Thursday night when we go there and play, in Monroe. They love, it seems like we get them fired up. They play a very similar style to us, like wanting to run and wanting to use athleticism. And so it's going to be a battle and we're just going to have to push back, push back, push back. You always have to be at least 15 points better than somebody on the road to win is what most people say. But in the case with them being hungry to get a conference win and, a lot of factors go into that. Last year we went there and John Hartwell is their athletic director, used to be ours. They had the most promotions. They had the entire football team sitting behind us. And I think who cheered the loudest won a big screen TV and that kind of thing. So it's a lot of factors that go into playing at ULM. And we know we have to be ready for every scenario.